What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. So this is the New York Knicks Weekly Recap Show. Of course, I'm going to be touching on last night's game on top of just how well the Knicks are doing, man. We got to start putting things in perspective here, right? We got to really start identifying how good this team is playing. Listen, LV has been perfectly with everyone else, right? As far as frustrations with this team being up and down on a roller coaster, like we all know, right? But we have to be real about ourselves in regards to how well we feel this team has been playing as of late. The last 18 games, 14-4. We got to really start breaking that down. But I think, these next couple of games is really going to kind of really tell if this team is for real or not. But we got to kind of go back. We got to go through exactly what happened last night, right? Because I think the last night was big, especially nationally televised game against a red hot San Antonio Spurs team, right? Won 11-0, and the Knicks dismantled them, made them look super pedestrian, beating them 114-89, right? This was a total clinic defensively for the Knicks. And I think all in all, you could look from top to bottom. You could, of course, talk about the captain, talked about how well Cat played, right? Of course, I'm going to touch on Diawara. Some issues with Josh Hart I'm going to touch on also. But what about Mikal Bridges, right? Listen, guys, last night he looked like the guy we traded 5 picks for. Let's just be honest. That's just the truth. 25 big points for him, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. But, guys, 5 steals. 5 steals. I mean, he was just exceptional. Yes, the exceptional. And this is the guy we traded for. And we made those picks for. This was the guy. 10 for 17 from the field, 5 and 9 from 3. I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome. But to me, the biggest story of the game isn't so much, honestly, the offense, because we know how good offensively the Knicks are, right? We understand that. But the reality of it is that, it's what they did defensively. Shutting down the Spurs, just the offense, just the team. Listen, the Spurs are good. Listen, we know what they did to OKC. They've destroyed OKC. They've smacked around OKC. Right? What they did the other night to the Pistons. So the Spurs are no joke. But I think we match up really well against them. I said it last week before the Spurs game. I think the Knicks match up well. We could see a victory this weekend. But the Spurs were red hot. And the Knicks have pretty much handled the Spurs in all 3 times that they played them. Of course, the last game, Champagnie went off. He went berserk. The local kid from Brooklyn, right, went to St. John's. He went bananas last game against the Knicks in San Antonio. But the Knicks tied up with those things and kind of put him on clamps. And remember that game, the Knicks were up by 20 in that game. They were up by 20. It was smooth sailing, Wemby went out with an ankle injury, so I thought the Knicks had the game pretty much in the bottle. Pretty much they had wrapped it up, pack it up, let's go. We got the win, get up out of here. And then Champagnie went berserk. And so this game pretty much played out how that last game played, which is that we pretty much held on to the rope this time and didn't let go of it. 89 points, man. It's only the 3rd time that the Spurs went under 100 points this year, man. And so once again, right, defensively, we've gone 14-4 last 18 games. And a big part of that is our defense. I'm going to give you guys a quick stat. The first 46 games prior to this 14-4 run, right? The Knicks were 18th defensively. Now they are currently 8th defensively. 8th. So we're getting after it on that end. We already know what we could do offensively. We already know that, guys. We were top 5 in the league offensively last year. And this year we're also top 5. Right now we're 3rd offensively. The offensive rating, we're number 3 in the league. So the offense is the problem. It's getting after on that end. And I think that change and that shift that they made from pushing guys to the middle of the court, I don't know who does that. That's terrible basketball. But shifting those guys based on how every game, and every basketball skill is taught, you always push them to the weak side. You always push them to the person's weak hand. So if they're right-handed, you want to push them left-handed. If they're left-handed, you want to push them right-handed. You want to go away from their strong side. That's what you do. So most of the time you see guys defending straight up, but a lot of times you see them defending an angle because they want to blitz them and try to push them into a double team. There's no room to operate there. But if you push them to the middle of the court, they got the whole court to see to operate. So that train of thought or whatever was being coached to the beginning, I don't know what that was. But they made an adjustment. And since then, guys, 14-4 in these last 18 games and number 8 in the league defensively. They are rolling, man. They are rolling. And they showed it last night against a really, really, really good Spurs team on national television, man. They made them look pedestrian. They really, truly did. Wemby got busy, right? Wemby had 25, but he had a quiet 25, though, man. He had a quiet 25. I mean, he was 8 for 17 from the field, right? Just below 50%, but he only 1 for 7 from 3, but 7 turnovers. That's defense. That's defense, guys. And so, all in all, you just got to be happy about that, man. You have to be. We had 13 steals. 13 steals on them boys. 13. $24 points off of their turnovers. We had 23 fast break points. I mean, you just got after it defensively, man. We just did. And to me, that's what really won us the ball game. And of course, we got after it on the glass, too. 54 rebounds to their 41. I mean, we just pretty much totally put them in a chokehold, man. And I think that was the ball game. Now, okay, once again, let's touch on some of the players, right? Let's go. I talked about Mikal Bridges and how good he was, right? But let's really kind of shift here because, I got to give some love to the captain here, right? Brunson kind of saved us because I thought in that first quarter, right, basically what was happening was that Josh Hart, they're going to have to figure out that because listen, I'm sure with a whole bunch of Knicks fans watching him turn down jump shots and what was going on, I'm sure you guys were frustrated, right? You were ready to snatch Josh Hart out the game and say, sit him down, put Shaman in. So that was very concerning. But the captain pretty much, he pretty much grabbed the ball by his horns. He scored 11 straight points, and that pretty much got us in striking distance where we took over the lead, and that kind of led way to pretty much the floodgates being blown open. But that was pretty much led by him. Although Brunson had a solid game, right? 24 points, right? Only 16 shots, 7 for 16 from the field, 4 for 7 for 3, 6 for 7 for the free throw line, 7 assists. So, guys, he's cutting down his shots as I'm going to say last 5 games. Would you guys say last, couple of weeks? He's kind of cut down on shooting so much, if you've noticed. I mean, of course, the game in Houston, he had to pretty much save us in the end, which was great. But he hasn't been really just chucking. You know what I mean? He's been kind of being mindful of passing, getting guys involved. And I told you guys, I said, where I want him is really like 21, 22 and a half, but about 12 assists. I think he could do that because of offensively the weapons that we have, especially with the ascension of Diawara and, of course, with Deuce coming back, right? So you have weapons now. So we don't really need Brunson to average 28, especially, of course, let's not forget, you got an all-NBA guy there and a big cat, right? So a lot of guys need touches, right? So we don't really need him to dribble the air out the ball. And so he's been changing that as of late. And I think with his facilitating and him kind of looking guys off, not looking guys off, making the extra passes really start to open the eyes of certain guys on the team. They start feel like they kind of feel like they're involved a lot. And you got to kind of tip your cap to him, man. I think he's really kind of turned the corner here, and hopefully he can keep this up because I love that number of him having 21, 22 points a game. He had 24. About maybe 12 assists. If he can do something like that, that would be great. And then other guys can start kind of getting busy and doing what they need to do, especially a guy like Big Cat. Now let's go to him. I thought he had an awesome game, right? 12 points for him, 5 for 9 from the field. He only shot 1 3-pointer, but 14 boards. I thought he got after it on the defensive end. There was a stat out there that while he was defending Wemby, I think Wemby was like a negative 12 or something like that. Like Wemby was at his worst when Cat was defending him. So Cat pretty much had him on clamps all night. And one thing I kind of talked to you guys about, and I think that this is an issue that I think is a positive for us, but a bad thing for the Spurs in matching up with us. We got 2 bigs who are athletic enough to deal with Wemby and give Wemby problems. Most teams don't have that. So with Mitch and Cat, those guys going down and those interchangeable lineups. That kind of makes things hard for Wemby because he has to box out Mitch. You got to pay attention to him, and then you got to defend Cat out there on the 3. But of course, with Josh Hart being out there, that changes things. I'm going to touch on that in a minute. But it still puts pressure on Wemby. So then when they come back on the defensive end, he still has to play, and he's probably tired from dealing with those guys out on the other end. So that's when the turnovers come. Right, a lot of times turnovers are based on pretty much fatigue. And so I think that that's really what's happening to Wemby when he plays against us because of what we show for him in different looks. And then you have Cat, then you have, of course, Mitch, but then you the OG Anunoby on him. So we got 3 different bodies that we can throw at Wemby that gives him a lot of different looks, causes him a lot of problems, forces the turnovers, which is a benefit and a positive for us. And so I think that's what it is. So I loved what the big cat did. I just did. And then also, too, he took advantage of his mismatches. Only 12 points. He only had 9 shots, but still he took full advantage of that, I thought. But I thought what was beautiful for the big cat is 14 big rebounds, 14 boards. So he's killing it on the rebounds. Once again, still leading the league in double-doubles. I mean, he's having an exceptional second half of the year. That whole stuff about him not being happy about, whatever dynamic it is or his frustrations, I think that's kind of going out the window, man. I think he's really, really grabbing the ball by the horns and kind of taking responsibility for what his role is on his team, but also, too, realizing that, we're going to need him to score a lot of points at times, but sometimes we're going to need a day like this where he has 12 and 14. But at the end of the day, to me, it's get wins. And in the last 18 games, we're 14-4. So whatever, recipe is out there, it seems like it's working. So to me, that's what we have to keep on doing regarding that. So I thought it was great from the big cat. Now, Josh Hart, right? Great game. Listen, guys, he almost had a triple-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, right? But see, the issue with Josh, and listen, 7 defensive rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, right? 1 steal. The problem with Josh is this. He's got to let it fly, man. He's got to let it fly, and he's got to shoot with confidence. He has to. And I think what's hurting us is that he when he doesn't take that shot, that automatic shot, when they swing it to him, whether it's on the elbow for the 3, in the corner for the 3, at the top of the key for the 3, he's got to pull the trigger. Like he has to. And he's got to be confident. But when he does a shot fake, when no one's on him, and he drives, that's when the turnovers happen. That's when he starts turning the ball over, and it just messes up the flow of the offense. And so I think that that's something that kind of like he has to get better with, man. He's got to be confident in that. Even though he was 1 for 6 from 3, which is fine, still, man, you got to keep them honest. And he's been shooting better this year from 3. He's been shooting 40%. So he's got to pull the trigger. Now, of course, the whole talk of him, getting out of the starting lineup and removing him from that. I don't know if I do that. I don't know if I do that with him. He's too good of a player. And he gives us the intangibles that no one else can give us, right? No pun intended, right? The heart and soul of this team. So what he doesn't go in the stat book. It just doesn't. And when he's not in the lineup, you see a big difference with this team. He's the attitude. He's the edge. He gives us that edge that we need. And then also, too, I'm just being honest, I don't know if he will be a good player coming off the bench at this stage in his career. You got to think, last couple of years he's been starting, right? He probably had his best season last year ever, right? And he was a starter last year. So how do you put that guy back on the bench? That's that's a hard adjustment. On top of, he's been playing really well. So you kind of got to live and die by it in a sense, I guess, right? But he's a really good player, man. And those intangibles that you just can't coach. And there's no one else on this team that provides that. Nobody. And so in the starting lineup, you're going to need a guy like that. You have a bunch of offensive guys, yeah, but you're going to need a guy that's going to do the dirty work. You're going to need a guy out there. Not everybody can shoot. Not everybody can just shoot the ball. So you're going to need a guy that's going to do the dirty work to get the extra loose balls, to push the pace, which he does, to get those dirty rebounds that no one wants to get. Dirty rebounds meaning get his hands dirty. Whether he's got to grab, push, do whatever, scratch, he's getting rebounds. That's what he does. And that's the beauty of Josh Hart. So once again, that's why I call him the heart and soul of this team. So to me, how do you put him? How do you put him on the bench, right? Like I don't think that's going to benefit us. I think it'll hurt us more than help us. Now I know, of course, a lot of people, with the 5 out, and like LV, you're bugging. We can put this here; it'll work for our offense. Yes, but you'll have too many guys that are pretty much the same guy out there. You'll have 5 guys out there that's just scorers, but no one there to do the dirty work. You got to have a guy like that. You got to. The guy that's like that for them, for OKC, is Lou Dort, right? So sometimes he knocks it down, sometimes he doesn't, but he does the dirty work. He guards the toughest guys. He gets all the dirty rebounds. He's on the floor scrapping. You know what I mean? He's doing all those little intangibles that, SGA and those other guys aren't going to do. And so you need a guy like that for a championship team. Hence, Draymond, of course, with OKC, with Golden State, right? So you need guys like that, man. And so I think he's really, really extremely important for what it is that we do, right? See with Detroit, they have same guys, guy like Beef Stew, right? Same type of deal. Now, he doesn't start for them, but still, he does all those intangibles that they need, and every team needs a guy like that. And so I think that's the beauty of Josh Hart. Now, let's get to Mo Diawara, man. Listen, guys, I've been screaming for him. You know that. You know this. You've heard it here first on the LV Live show. I've been saying, listen, man, you're going to have to play this kid. He's going to have to get a lot of minutes. I've been stressing that. 14 big points for him, 5 for 14 from the field, 4 for 13 from 3. So 13 threes, made 4 of them. I felt like he made every three-pointer. Now, I know that's not true. I know he missed a lot of them. But it felt like he did, man, because he was shooting with so much confidence. And he's playing with so much confidence. I don't does anybody out there sense for 1 second that this guy's nervous? I don't get that at all with him. At all. I sense a guy that's confident and a guy that pretty much knows his role and knows what he needs to do. Not for 1 second do I feel that kid doesn't belong out there. He's pushing for minutes here, man. A lot of minutes. He played 15 minutes last game. Felt like he played more. I like him at that between 15 and 20 minutes a night. I love that. I love that. And if he keeps playing this way, guys, you guys let me know in the chat. Do you think he's earned a spot in the playoff rotation? Do you think he's earned that? As well as he's been playing. All right, let me get in the chat real quick, man. I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me, man, on this New York Knicks Weekly Recap show, man. I truly appreciate you guys coming through and rocking with me, man. I just want to chop it up with you real quick. Big Task, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live Vibes. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Rondo, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Namrit, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Eric Green, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. It's a quick show, man. Doing a quick show. Just want to touch base with you guys and wasn't able to go on live yesterday. Duty calls, right? Life and stuff like that. So kind of got a little busy, a little hung up. So that's why I kind of wanted to hop on with you guys real quick, do a quick little weekly show. I just want to do a quick recap of the game, and then we're going to touch on some other things regarding Knicks. Rondo, your LV man, so we stumped the Spurs. We can sleep, walk to the playoffs, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Rondo, well said, sir. Rondo, well said. Okay, Vibes said Bridges finally showed up. Agreed. Well, that's why we paid them picks for him, man. But Vibes, doesn't he always come up big? He did it last year in the playoffs, man. He did it last year in the playoffs. He always comes up big, man. Always comes up big. Always. When it matters most, right? And I think he loves playing the Spurs. Remember, he had that 40 piece on Christmas last year, right? So he loves playing against the Spurs. Great game for him, man. Great game. Great game for him. Now, it says it would be nice if Bridges could string together a few of these performances. Agreed. Big Chad says not only did we hold them under 100, we held them under 90. Well said, sir. Agreed. Great breakdown, Big Task. Great breakdown. Eric Reese says great win by the Knicks. Defense is the key because even if the threes aren't hitting, we will still be in position to win. That's why, I feel good about us in the playoffs, even against the Pistons. You know what, Eric Green? I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned the Pistons piece. I'm not afraid of anybody in the playoffs, even the Pistons. The playoffs are a different type of basketball. And I think that, the Pistons have had a great regular season, but it's the regular season, man. That doesn't matter. When the playoffs come, it's 0-0. All that stuff is out the window. And now you got to beat us 4 out of 7. Can you do that? Can you beat us 4 out of 7? I don't trust the Pistons offense. I just don't. Yes, they can do it. They get after it defensively. But I think the way the Knicks shot against the Pistons is kind of like an outlier. I think we just had tough defense, tough shooting games against them. We get on fire offensively. Can they keep up? Can they keep up offensively with us? They can't. They don't have the weapons to do that. They don't. In the way Brunson is dishing the rock, Brunson can have a night where he has 17 or 18 and go into the fourth and go ballistic because that's how good of a player he is in the playoffs. Right? So we got a lot of bodies now with the Sohan piece to throw at Cade because he's the main problem. That's it. Outside of him, I'm not worried about nobody else. So you have the Sohan piece. You throw him out there. You could throw DOR out there on Cade. You still got Bridges. You force OG Anunoby, right? So you got 4 bodies you could throw on Cade. So that's the thing. So I'm not too worried about them. And the way we're playing defensively, I think we'll be fine, especially how we're getting after it. The temperature rises when the playoffs come, right? The temperature goes up. So the really, really good teams during that time, either your heart beats slow or your heart beats fast in those moments. We've proven that our heart beats slow. Even keel. Even keel. And so we'll see exactly what the Pistons are, because I'm not afraid of them. I'm not. People saying, oh, you don't want to see, man, bring it on. It doesn't matter. Because to me, that's even better, because then I don't want to hear, oh, we didn't play the Pistons. That's why we would have played the Pistons. We would have lost. We wouldn't have. I don't care. Let's beat whoever comes across our path. So to me, I'm not worried about anybody. If we do what we do and we pay attention to us, we're our biggest enemy. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We just do what we got to do, and that's it. And it'll look just like this. 114-89. Big Taz says Josh Hart reminds me of Drano from the movie Sunset Park. Can shoot the ball, but is scared to shoot. Big Taz, that's fabulous. That's well said. I agree with that. He's got to get out of his head, man. He's got to get out of his head. D-Wall can get a spot on the rotation if McBride's not ready. Ooh, I think Deuce will be ready. I think that's why he's traveling with the team. I think he's rehabbing. I think he will be ready. And I think Mike Brown's going to have to go 10 deep. And I think that's important. I think he's going to have to, because you got to think, guys. Let's go to the roster, right? We already know the top 5. We already know the starting 5. Who's the bench guys? First guy, Mitch, right? Mitch coming off the bench. Shamet, right? Deuce, right? That's 8. Alvarado, that's 9, right? The way DOR is playing, how do you keep him off the court? How do you keep this kid off the court? Guys, I said it last time, right? I said it last week. This kid is kind of putting up. It's hard to keep him off the court. You can't keep him off the court. You cannot. He's really pushing it for him to get this playing time here. So he's going to have to find a place for him in this playoff rotation. He's going to have to. He's too good of a player. You're going to have to find a spot for him. 6'9", 6'10". Those guys don't grow on trees playing the way he's playing. He's ascending, man. He's ascending. The last thing you want is to dim his light right now. Let him continue to grow. It's a young man's league. OKC, see how young all them boys are? You know why? Because he's playing them cats. He's playing them dudes, even in big playoff moments. He's playing all of those young players, all of them. What's the kid's name? The shooter over there, Isaiah Job and all them. All them guys are young guys, man. He's playing. They're playing really, really well in big spots for OKC. It's a new league, man, new day. If the boy's ready to play, let him play, man. Let him play. Roll him out there. Throw him in the fire. And here's the thing. If he's stinking up the joint, you can put him on the bench. It's okay. But at least he's there. You have him there. Big Taz, DOR can extend the rotation like Indiana did. Agreed. There you go. There you go, Big Taz. The law of attrition. That's the key. Big Taz, I still believe that the Pistons will get bumped on by the Hornets in the first round. Yo, man, that could be. Big Taz, listen, that might be a possibility, Big Taz. Big Taz, we might have a problem with DOR in the offseason. I think they'll probably want to keep him. There's no way they let him walk. Or if they don't, there's no way they let him walk. Okay, let me say this. You can't do absolutes, right? So I don't want to say there's no way. I would be shocked if they let him walk. I would be really, really surprised. Right, he's a restricted. Yeah, agreed. I would be surprised they let him walk. Big Taz. I would be really, really surprised. Really, really surprised if they let him walk. I just would be. I just, would, once again, man. I sound like a broken record, but I just would be really surprised if they let him walk, man, and don't take full advantage of this kid and how good he is. I mean, he's that good of a player, man. I mean, you have to make sure that you take care of your homegrown guys, and he's a homegrown guy. So you gotta keep him ready, man. You got to. With that being said, let's hear from Diawara, man. Let's hear from him. Put him on. CC, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live tonight. It's a quick show I'm doing here, man. Just kind of wanted to chop it up with you guys. I missed you guys yesterday. Duty calls, man, life and stuff like that. So I couldn't really get back to the computer, running around and stuff. But I wanted to chop it up with you guys and touch because I didn't get a chance to speak to you about the game yesterday. And then also to talk about everything that's coming ahead for the Knicks, man, and what things are looking like here. We do all this talking. Let's hear from Diawara, man. Hear from Diawara. Listen, man, the guy's playing exceptional well. He's 19 years old, man. He's 19. How do you let him walk at 19 years old? There's no way. That would be insane. You got to lock him in, man. You got to. All right, let's hear from Diawara.
From a point earlier in the season where you really didn't know or probably didn't think that you were going to get much minutes, and now playing in a game like this against a team like that, just what's the emotional ride been like for you this year?
It's been great. Like I said, you got to be ready. That's my first year in the league. I'm a rookie, so I know that I'm not going to play all the games, but I know that I got to be ready to hurt my name and get cold. So I think, like I said, just stay ready, play harder practices, and that's it.
Let me tell you something what he said, which was fabulous. One thing that he said, which was great. He said, I'm a rookie, man, so there's some games I'm not going to play. He understands that. See, he understands. But I got to be ready when my number's called. That's why you can't let him walk. He reminds me of Deuce. And when Deuce was in the same situation, whenever Tibbs called us in his name, Deuce was ready to go. He was ready to play. It wasn't a question. Like you knew he was going to be ready to go. And that's what this kid is doing. He's taking full advantage of his opportunities here. Full advantage. So how do you not keep this kid in the rotation? How do you just no? There's no way. There's no way. I've been saying this on my show for the longest. There's no way you let this kid sit on the bench. He's got to play. And listen, I know Sohan is here. And I said here on the show, he's super green. Let Sohan get an opportunity since you brought him here. Let's see what you have. We've kind of seen what he is, right? He's super limited. I think he does have a lot of upside, but this kid is ready to go. So we're trying to win games. This is a playoff push. You got to play this kid. You got to play this kid. You have to. Cece says, let him grow for sure, man. Castle tried to make a move on him and beat him to the spot, and he blocked him. Yeah, that kid, he's awesome, man. He's awesome. This kid is off the charts, man. Good. Off the charts. And then also, two guys, he's 19 years old, man. He's 6'10". He's 19 years old, guys. Like I gotta say that to you. He's 19 years old, man. 19 years old. We found the diamond in the rough, man. There's no Leon would be insane to let this kid walk. All right, hot take. Would you guys rather let Mitch or Deuce walk for this kid? Would you guys rather do that? Would you let them both walk for Mitch? I mean, would you let them both walk for Diawara? Would you let Mitch and Deuce walk for Diawara? What are you guys doing? You heard it here first with the LV Live show. I would have to let Deuce walk, man. I would have to let Deuce walk, and I would keep Mitch. You can't coach size. We have Shamet. Shamet can play Deuce's role. Keep Shamet. Let Diawara continue to grow. He's 19 years old, guys. He's 6'10", doing what he does. These guys don't grow on trees. He is the prototypical wing right now in the league and what everybody wants. They want a guy that's 6'9", 6'10", and does exactly what Diawara does. And he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better. He's only 19. Deuce has got to walk, man. I love Deuce. He's got to walk. He's only 6'1". He's starting to show wear and tear too. He's starting to get injured a lot. You guys peeping that too with him? She's starting to get injured a lot. Right? So what do you do with that? I don't know. Just being honest, Deuce is going to have to go, man. Deuce is going to have to go. Deuce is going to have to go. I'm keeping Diawara. I'm keeping Mitch. Sliding Shamet into that Deuce role. Extending Shamet. Because Shamet is what? How old is Shamet? Shamet's still young too. I think Shamet's 26. Let's take a look here. How old is Shamet? Looking right now. Let me see. Shamet's 28. He's 28 years old. He actually turns 29 in March. How old is Deuce? Deuce is 25. He's got 4 years. Shamet's got 4 years on him. They list Deuce at 6'2". He's not 6'2", man. He might be 6 feet. Deuce will be 26 this year in September. You can't keep everybody, man. Everybody can't, you can't keep everybody, man. Can't. I probably have to let him walk, man. I have to let him walk. I have to let him walk, man, if I'm keeping this kid. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. It's a hot take. Just being honest. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would make that move. I would let Deuce walk, keep Mitch, keep Diawara, put Shamet right over there, and also too the backup to Brunson is Alvarado. That's it. Bang bang boogie. Then you add on pieces here and there. I think we're good. I think we're rock solid. I'm not going after Giannis. Not doing that. Not doing that. Building from the draft. And then also too, remember we got to make sure the money's right because remember we got to get ready to sign Brunson for his extension. Because remember, he's going to opt out. He's going to want that big deal, right? So, Big Task, great. Do you think Diawara is a future All-Star? I think he can be. Big Task, I think his upside tells me he can be. Big Task. He's going to get better. Big Task, he's only 19. Kid is only 19. Look what he's doing. He's only going to get better, Big Task. And then the beauty of him, Big Task, too, is this. I think he's going to be 20 this year. I think he's going to turn 20 this year. He's not done growing. He don't stop growing until he's 21. This kid can wind up being 6'11". You might have a KD right there, man. You might have a KD growing right there in front of your eyes. I'm just being honest with you. This is a real thing here. This kid's upside is insane. And you cannot coach what he has. Youth and size with a potential for him to get bigger. He's not done growing. Kodeska, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live tonight. This is my New York Knicks weekly recap show, man. I just wanted to kind of go over the game last night and talk about certain things and chop it up with you guys. Talk about the week ahead, what it's looking like. About to hit a gauntlet right here, so we got to definitely touch on that. But I want to kind of go back and talk about the game, man. Talk about certain things. Talk about Diawara right now, but yeah, I appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. All right, guys, let's talk about Mikal Bridges, man. Mikal Bridges breaking down exactly like how he feels like the defense has been as of late. And he was exceptional yesterday, excuse me. Exceptional. Let's hear from Mikal Bridges.
At that point, where have you guys gotten better defensively? And Mike Brown said that you guys have just been better on defense.
Yeah, I think just especially in pick and roll, and I think just helping the helper. I think just helping more. I think in the past sometimes we're leaving guys on the island and not trusting each other as much. But we talked about it and know we had to be better, and we keep getting better at it.
That point.
Beautiful what he said. You guys hear what he said? He said helping the helper, right? Helping these guys out, not leaving guys on the island. You know how that happens? Oh, Lionel Monis, what's going on? Yo, man, Lionel Monis, is that you? I just want to make sure. I don't want to come on. That you, Lionel Monis? Let me know, man. Sometimes you making it wrong things. Oh, my God, what's going on? I'm sorry, man. I apologize. All right, so Mikal Bridges is talking about helping the helper, right? Don't leaving guys on the island, right? He said we was doing that before. But see, once again, that goes back to that scheme that I was telling you. They're pushing guys to the middle. That's insane. You're pushing guys to the middle of the court. So now you're giving guys more options to kind of do what they got to do offensively. And now you give the offensive guy who's already elite so much room to do what he wants to do. So now, but when you push him baseline, that's what he means by helping the helper. So you're coming by helping the guy. If you need to double, kind of come conform, crash down on him to where he doesn't have any angles to make any passes. But when you're in the middle of the court, now I can attack in so many different ways. But if I'm on one side of the court, I basically cut off the rest of the court from the guy. So you push him baseline. I mean, this is old stuff, man. I mean, they teach this stuff in middle school. So once again, I don't know who told them earlier to do something. I don't know who told them that, but whatever. They made a switch. From the last 18 games, they're 14-4. The defensive rating has jumped from 18 to number 8 in the league right now. So that's telling you why they've been playing better, right? So once, like Mikal said, you're helping the guy out. So if he's pushing him baseline, you can come up and come trap. And then also too, the guy can't see the other side of the court because he's on the left side, can't see the right side all the way over there. So sometimes he may turn his back. That's when you have a guy Alvarado come in, pick your pockets, or OG Anunoby come and double, block your shot, do whatever. Like that's why you do that. So I'm glad that they kind of made that adjustment, and look at how well they're playing as of late, man. And I believe they're also they're number 5 in net rating as well during these last 18 games, which is awesome. So it's I think it's a great breakdown from Mikal, man. I think it's really, really, really good from him, man. So guys, also too really quick, let's hear from Landry Shamet, man. He's also been playing really, really, really well, man. He's been playing really well. And this is where, believe it or not, guys, the way he's been playing, another hot take, it kind of makes you, in some ways, kind of forget about Deuce, the way that Shamet's been working. The way that Shamet's been playing and how well he's been playing. So what Deuce provided, he's providing that same thing. And Shamet's bigger, and he gets after it defensively. So when you bring Deuce back, it's just added to the pie. But the reality is that you're not really skipping a beat. You're not. And so that's why I mentioned earlier about the move to keep Diawara and let the Deuce walk, because you got Shamet now. Shamet can slide right into that spot that Deuce was playing, and that's it. And you don't have to worry about a ball handler because Shamet can bring the ball up, but you have Alvarado in that spot now. He's a legit point guard. You see what he's doing. So now you don't have to worry about someone running a second unit. You have your point guard for the second unit, to where Shamet doesn't have to worry about that. Right? So the way Shamet's playing, you kind of forget about Deuce now. I don't want to say you don't need Deuce. I don't want to say that because he's good and we need him here. But it's a great place to be in. Right? Because now, it's not like you need Deuce. You do, but you really don't. Because you still got to have minutes, right? Guys still got to play, right? So the minutes distribution has been great because you have Diawara coming off the bench. You have Shamet, you have Alvarado, and you have Mitch. Those are 4 guys. So they're going 9 deep. 9 deep now. So it's great rotation. Great. Let's hear from Shamet, guys. My man Shamet. Shamet looked like a school teacher, right? Let's hear from Shamet.
I mean, yeah, if your editor is saying how important you are, like that leaves an impact. It's good. It's good to have belief in you. Feels good, I think, for anybody. And my job's just to show up every night and try to bring it and do whatever it is that I can to help us win. And certainly helps when you know you have that confidence behind you. I'm super fortunate, grateful for Mike and his stance on me from the get. And but that becomes secondary, and my job is just to, come in here and try to help us win games.
Listen, well said by Shamit, man. He's a pros pro, isn't he? Isn't he a pros pro? Pros pro, man. Pros pro. Like, I love what he said, man. He said, listen, man, he said he's fortunate to have Mike believe in him. Right? And he's telling the truth, man, because listen, guys, you got to think where he was before, man. He was trying to kind of hop it around the league. He was a decent player, but, nobody really believed in him. He found a home last year. He wanted to stay with the Knicks. And Mike Brown did speak about how he saw some tape of this team and saw Landry Shamet and said, I like how he plays. I would love to kind of use him. And he's given Shamet a great opportunity here to showcase what he can do for this team. And believe it or not, has earned a spot possibly long-term here now. Shamet has spoke about it numerous times, how much he loves living in New York. He loves being here. And so, this is where he wanted to go. He could have went any other place. He was a free agent, but he wanted to be here. He wanted to stay in New York. He didn't want to go to another place. So I think he likes here. Maybe his family's here. I don't know. But he likes being here. So he made concessions to be here. So you have a coach, like he said, he's fortunate for the coach to believe in him, give him these opportunities. So hopefully he can get a deal here to stay here for the long term. And that's it. But I think Shamet is the odd guy that no one's really speaking about as much. And I think he's a guy that's probably going to, stamp his or cement himself as a guy that's going to be here long term. Because here's the thing with him. He's a role player. So is he going to go any other place and start? No, he's going to be coming off the bench. So is there anybody else that's going to be giving him a whole bunch of money to get? I don't think so. So he's a solid role player. So once again, he's going to be 29 years old. So he's getting to the point of his career where he wants some type of stability, right? So I could see Shamet staying here, taking a really good deal with the Knicks for about 3 years, 4 years, or something like that. And he's staying with us, role player coming off the bench. I can see that. And that will fill that Deuce role if the Knicks decide to move off of Deuce to keep Diawara. That fills that role right there. Shamet's been fabulous. Fabulous. Big deal, big time. That is a shot at Tibbs. It is. That is a shot at Tibbs. Tibbs believed in him at some point, but then Tibbs didn't play him in the playoffs, man. And that's my only gripe with Tibbs, man. I have a lot of issues with Tibbs. That was my only thing, man. Like why he didn't play Shamet, man. And Shamet was going on a heater going into the playoffs, and you just didn't play the kid at all. It made no sense. None. But the way he's playing now, and he was playing like this last year too in spots. He just wasn't getting enough minutes. He's getting a lot of minutes here. How many minutes he played last night? I think he played almost 20 minutes, right? How much he played? Shamet played 25 minutes, man. He's getting great minutes here. And I think that's great numbers too. 25 minutes, I think is perfect for a guy like Shamet because he's a shooter. CC says, Deuce represents what it looks like to not give up. I believe he's going to make an impact. And make an impact in a sense of what, CC? Deuce is already like made an impact. You think, what do you mean? Like when he comes back? I think of course, man, Deuce is going to be fine. If that's what you're saying, I'm not worried about Deuce at all. I'm just not. I think Deuce is going to be way okay. I'm not worried about Deuce at all. I think he's going to be fine. All right, guys. So really quick. So guys, listen. Let's kind of switch up gears here, right? Let's go over. I want to go over the week here, the week that we have coming up, right? So the Knicks during this 14-4 run, too, guys. Like the Knicks have won, played 18 games, won 14 out of those. And I, talk to you guys about the stats, the net rating, defensive rating, of course, the offensive rating. And guys, you got to think about during this time who the Knicks beat. And I know the Knicks have people, I've even said it. Like they're like a roller coaster. But during this 18-game stretch, guys, you got to think who they beat, man. You got to think who they beat. They beat the Lakers. They beat Denver. They beat Boston. They beat Houston, and they beat the Spurs. Like they beat a lot of playoff teams, legit teams during this kind of issue. Now, of course, they had the hiccup, of course, against Indiana, right? Of course, the two, losses to Detroit. Like I understand that. Like let's be honest here. Like I know, right? But we got to be real here about the teams that they beat, man, during this stretch here. And so, but it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't. And so they're going to have to ride this momentum to kind of get ready, because I think honestly this is the time right now where the Knicks have to kind of start identifying what their playoff rotations are going to be and who's going to be who. You got to see what this is, because to me this is all these games are prepping for the playoffs. Unlike in the beginning, you're trying to figure things out, right? Figure out what your team is and stuff. You might take some games off, right? And what I mean is play maybe certain guys more than what they should, because you're trying to tinker with the lineup. Now this is playoff push time. And so you got to really start rolling out who you want to kind of play and what you want to do, right? Like I think that's how you have to start doing things now, right? Especially with this gauntlet, right? That I'm about to show you guys right now, because it's about to get real, man, for the Knicks. It's about to get super real. So we gotta kind of identify that. All right, so here we go, right? Let me move this around really quick. It's kind of crazy here. Let me tighten this up. Okay, so here we go. So starting tomorrow, right? We got Toronto, right? But I didn't even realize, guys, we got Toronto, but Toronto and OKC is a back-to-back. So we got to figure out how we're going to do things here, because if you look at this, we got to kind of really don't take Toronto. I think we smack them around, but we can't take them lightly. They're still a playoff team. And once again, in the East right now, it's all about positioning. So I think we got to play this game against Toronto like it's a playoff game, meaning like you got to play your guys. You got to play your horses. But the problem with that is that now we got OKC on a Wednesday night, and I think OKC is also on a back-to-back as well. So what do you do during this time, right? Do you rest Mitch against Toronto? Because remember, this is for positioning now, so you don't want to lose a game here against Toronto. You want to win this game. Or will this be the first time that you play Mitch on a back-to-back? Would you do that? Or would you sit him against OKC? Because to me, this is now the gauntlet here. This is where we got to really see what we are. These next 6 games, right? Toronto, these are all playoff teams. Toronto, OKC, Denver, Lakers, and Clippers, which is 5 games here. So to me, this is kind of like where you kind of see where you're at, because all these teams are legit. Denver's going to want that get back. The Lakers are still Lakers. The Clippers got Kawhi. Kawhi could go off for 50 on you. You know what I mean? We know how good they are. They don't have James Harden anymore, but still. So, it's weird here, man. So it's a weird thing here with this. So you got to ask yourself, do you play Mitch on a back-to-back here? Do you do this, or you just continue to do what you've been doing and you get Mitch ready for Denver? Because you got to take care of business with Toronto, man, because it's all about seeding now, right? That everybody's nipping on each other's heels. Everybody's a game and a half back from each other. Because I think right now the standings are what? Let me take a look at the standings really quickly here while we kind of go through this. I just want to kind of look through it really, really quick here. So the standings right now, we're a half a game back. A game and a half, from Toronto. From the Celtics. Right? We're a game and a half above the Cavaliers. And we're 3.5 games above the Raptors. So we got to keep pace here. We got to continue to win games, especially in our division. So I'm not mad if they play Mitch, man. Because I'm correct. I saw that he wasn't on the injury report. So they're going to play him tomorrow. They're going to play him. So that means they're going to sit him against OKC. But then you have that, right? Sorry. Then you have that. Then you have Denver. Then you got the Lakers, then you got the Clippers. So it's about to be a gauntlet. And then the Sunday and Monday with the Lakers and Clippers are back-to-backs. So you're going to stay in LA, enjoy the sun, but you got the Lakers and the Clippers back-to-back that Monday, that Sunday, and that Monday. So you got 2 back-to-backs coming up during this 5-game stretch, which is a gauntlet. This is going to be big, guys. This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. So we got to see. Eric Green says, play Mitch against Toronto, rest him versus OKC. Okay. Anybody else? What say everybody else? Because this is interesting here. You see the schedule right there, guys. We'll put the link here in the chat for anybody who wants to hop on. Hey, Yuri, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live, man. That's my New York Knicks weekly recap show. So here's the link. So you see the gauntlet here, guys. You see it. So this is going to get real. Now, if you kind of want to go down, then after that, it kind of gets easier, right? We got Utah. They stink, but still they're tough in Utah. I've talked about it before. Then we got Indiana. Of course, they're going to play everybody because it's us. Then you got Golden State at home. Get back with Draymond. Then you got the Pacers again. Then you got Brooklyn, Washington, New Orleans. So it's about to get easier. Right? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after this gauntlet, you got these next 7 games that are against non-playoff teams. Excuse me, outside of Golden State. So you got to take care of business. You got to take care of business before after that we hit another gauntlet. Right? Charlotte is no joke. We already talked about how good they are. Then we go to OKC. Then we got Houston. Then we got Memphis. They stink. Then it's pretty much the end of the season. But still, you're going to hit gauntlet number 2 right after that. Right? Charlotte, OKC, Houston, all on the road. Then we come back home for Chicago. Atlanta, I think, is easy work. But then right here, the last 3 games right here to end up the season, I think it's for the number 2 seed against Boston. There's rumors out there that Tatum's coming back. I don't know if it's true. I'll take a look right before we get off here. But I hear Tatum's coming back this week. I'm hearing Tatum's coming back this week, people. So right here, so we got Boston. At the Garden, though, last 3 games at the Garden. Toronto's going to be tough, and Charlotte's going to be tough. All 3 of these games are going to be tough because everybody's going to be fighting for seeding spots in the playoffs. So guys, it doesn't get any easier, man. It really doesn't. But this gauntlet right here is going to be a problem. These first 5 games, we got to be ready. 2 back-to-backs during these 5-game stretch right here. All right, people, I got a couple of people waiting here. Let me get you guys in. Once again, I appreciate everybody coming through Rocking with LV Live. Let me get you guys on. Okay.
LV, my man.
Yuri, what's going on, buddy? How are you, man?
Good. I love always beating down the Spurs. Love it. Loved every minute of it. Tough stretch coming up these last few weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Tough one. You're basically asking the Knicks to win every single game from here on out. And that usually doesn't happen, LV, because, NBA season, you go through a lot of ups, you go through a lot of downs. And the Knicks this season, it feels like there's been more ups to this season than downs compared to how we were last year under Tom Thibodeau. I got to give credit to Mike Brown, even through the experimentations, especially after that rough patch in January that we went through. The Knicks bounced back. They're still third in the East. We managed to secure top 3 seeding. I do say, though, they underachieved again in the regular season compared to how they were last year. I look at it through that kind of point of view. You underachieved in the regular season, but you did overachieved in the playoffs when you got the ECF. It's going to be an interesting next few weeks, LP. What says you?
Hey, listen, Yuri, I agree, man. I agree. That's why I put the schedule up there because this is going to be tough. Because remember, during these 5 games, Yuri, right? 2 back-to-backs, Yuri.
And we know how Knicks are on back-to-backs. You don't know what kind of team you're getting on a back-to-back. We saw it last time on a back-to-back where we thought we were going to lose one of those games. Next thing you know, the Knicks blow out the other opponent after the following night against Philly. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. What kind of Knicks team are we going to get from here on out?
Yeah, man. Hey, Yuri, man. I think yesterday was big, man, for them for confidence boosters. But tomorrow's sneaky. Tomorrow could be a trap game because you're going up to Toronto. Toronto's, once again, everyone's fighting for playoff position right now.
Desperate.
So you got to be there. Exactly. They're going to be very desperate, Yuri. So this is a tricky game right before the OKC game, which is big on national television.
Yeah, that concerns me. If it was OKC and if it wasn't on like a national televised game, I'd be like, okay, no worries, do what you gotta do, see if you can pull that game off. This is national televised games, LV, where we've seen the Knicks drop the ball a few times on national televised games. They gotten better at it, but again, we've seen them drop the ball a few times on national televised games. So, me personally, I want the Knicks to win this back to back. Send a message to the NBA that you improved during the Pistons loss. That you're getting better every day. Because, like you said, Alvi, even during the win against the Spurs, you got people asking you, can you beat the Pistons in the playoffs? Like,
Right,
come on now.
right. We haven't gotten to the playoffs yet. Agreed. So yeah, but so Yuri, what would you do, Yuri? Is a question I have for you. Are we playing Mitch tomorrow, or are you playing against OKC? What are you doing, Yuri?
Given we're in the Eastern Conference right now, and the Raptors are like a few games behind us, and I want to create more separation for them, I would like to say play Mitch tomorrow, have him rest against OKC, or if possible, they've talked about wanting to play Mitch on a back-to-back, and I think they're ramping him up. They got close to ramping him up throughout the season. I think he plays a back-to-back for the first time in LV. I think. I would like to take a gamble and say he's going to play on Wednesday and the following week and the following game. So I think he plays both Raptors and OKC. Again, I could be wrong.
Listen, great take, Yuri. Great take, man. Great take.
They've talked about one playing back-to-backs for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, I like the ramp up. I like what you stated, but we got to see, man. Because listen, we can't risk him going down, Yuri. We cannot, because Yuri, you see what Akporti is. He's not ready, man. He's not ready, Yuri.
He's food.
Yeah, he's not ready yet, Yuri. He's not.
Food. Hulk Akporti is, and I love Hulk.
Yeah, but he's not ready yet. He's just not, Yuri. So would you take a risk, Yuri? That's the question. That's why I throw it out there.
I wouldn't risk it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like against Toronto, especially with Lou Dort knowing his altercations with Jokic the other night. I'm sorry, I wouldn't put Mitch against Lou Dort. Not until the playoffs, if we ever get to OKC in the finals. I'm not risking that. Play Mitch on Toronto, then rest him, then have him, then play him on one of the games on a back-to-back, rest him. You got a good thing going with Mitch here, despite the injury management being really frustrating at times throughout the season where I feel like we could have used Mitch a lot. I don't think come playoff time, LV, Mitch is not going to be on a minute restriction anymore.
No, not at all. Okay, Yuri, so listen, before I let you go, Yuri, question I threw out to the chat earlier. With the way Mo Diawara has been playing, Yuri, and with the issues now with the contracts coming up, second apron, all that stuff, with Mitch and Deuce, what do you do with Mo Diawara, 19 years old, restricted free agent this summer? Do you keep him or do you let him walk and keep Deuce and Mitch? What say you, Yuri?
I think the good thing about Mohamed Diawara is that he's still raw, but you're seeing the raw potential being developed into something over the season. This is what I think the Knicks will do. Mitch is going to be a free agent regardless. You're not going to be able to pay Mitch that money. Hulk Porty's not ready. So if you're the Knicks and you get to at least Eastern Conference Finals or Finals bound, you got to go over the second apron, or you got to make room so you can keep all the players. If I'm Leon Rose, I'm doing whatever it takes to re-sign Mohamed Diawara. You can't lose him. You just can't. Because if one of the teams gets Mohamed Diawara, takes him from him, that's a bad look on Leon. So I would like to believe he makes a move for Deuce to get traded, especially with all the value that Deuce has. I don't want to trade Deuce. I think Deuce is a great player, but LV, he's getting a little injury prone at his age. Don't you think? That's a concern if I'm Deuce. I'm concerned about that.
Right, last year and this year, Yuri.
Back to back. And now he just got surgery on a sports hernia. Is he really going to be the same once he comes back for a full season? You want to risk that? And I love Deuce.
Yeah, and he's a smaller guard too, Yuri.
And we need size.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And Deuce has got the best value right now throughout the whole Knicks bench right now. So if I'm Deuce, if I'm Leon, and I can get myself a 6'8", 6'9" shooting guard, to put off the bench or start, fix the rotation, get everyone back in the standards position. I hate to do it. I gotta trade Deuce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do it. This is going to be a tough decision for the Knicks this offseason. There's no running away from it.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks are going to have to make moves if they don't win the finals or get to it at least. So, again, I do feel like part of me would think they let Deuce go. They would trade Deuce and re-sign Mitch. I think after the season he's had, you got to get Mitch back at least. Got to. And here's the thing. It doesn't help it any better when Mitch's agency wants him to get the bag. So that's a whole nother politics as well. I don't know, man, LV. I think this is the most concerned I've been about the Knicks offseason. But there was a conversation, and I'm going to end it with this. I want to leave you an interesting topic. Maybe you could discuss on the next call-up show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
2028 free agency. It's going to consist of Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam Adebayo, and another one, Karl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Knicks, I'm thinking long-term here. I'm thinking 2028 free agency. And 2028 is do the Knicks reset.
Mm-hmm.
Go for the master reset. Okay, we didn't win the title with Cat. Didn't win the title with this person, that person. Let's do a master reset and let's restart our timeline. Rebuild how we want to rebuild. Remember, under Tom Thibodeau, that rebuild got accelerated.
Mm-hmm.
If Leon is still in charge come 2028, next few years from now, 2 years from now, guys, we're not that far off.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Leon, I'm thinking 2028 long term.
Mm-hmm.
So what says you, LV? I take my leave.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you coming through rocking with me, man. Appreciate you, Yuri. Take care, man. All right, that was Yuri, man. Great question from Yuri. Always coming through with the Heat Rock with LV Live, man. So listen, he talked about 2028. He talked about what you would do, man. Would you re-sign the big cat? What would you guys do? Got Bam Adebayo out there. He named some names, named Luka, Giannis. Yuri said he wants them to reset everything, wants Leon to do that. Or maybe do that. I'm not sure. Great question by Yuri. And then he also stated, Deuce has got to walk. He's giving Deuce walking papers and keeping Mo Diawara and Mitch. Great breakdown by Yuri, man. Great breakdown. All right, got somebody else here. Eric Green, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live, man. It's your world, sir.
How you doing, LV?
What's going on?
Hey, man, I really enjoyed that yesterday, man. I mean, we put it to the Spurs, and the key thing for me was the defense. Because even if you're not knocking down your threes, you're going to be in the game because you clamping down. But I just love the way the ball was flowing. Remember that when Alvarado came and hit, Bridges on that cut, that right through, and he dunked, man. That was just so sweet. And it was just some great ball movement, but the defense clamping down, getting on these guys, man. It was great, and that's what I think that the Knicks are going to be in the playoffs. So I'm really pleased. I just hope they can keep it up because they're just so inconsistent. It's just sometimes you just scratch your head with the effort, like against Cleveland, last week. So, but that was impressive yesterday.
Yeah, listen, it absolutely was. I mean, listen, man, look, I think we match up really well with the Spurs. I mean, I talked about it before. I thought all games, we've pretty much handled them pretty well. I think just matchup-wise, we give them a lot of problems, especially also, too, because of our athletic bigs. With Cat and Mitch give Wemby problems. It really does give some different looks. Most teams can't present that problem to him. And so I think when that happens, that flusters their lineup. Their offense isn't flowing, and they're not great three-point shooters. So they struggle with that. And whereas we can knock it down from the outside offensively. We're top 5 in the league offensively, right? So we got that rolling. And to your point, we're getting after you on the defensive end. We're very tough out. And so that's why you see the score what it is, right? Because this is exactly what we could do to a lot of teams. And listen, the beauty of this too, Evergreen, is that we're starting to kind of get our rhythm somewhat right before the playoffs. But right when we're starting to get hot, now we hit this gauntlet. So this is really going to be a true test. Is this true or is this a fluke? Like, which one is it? We're going to find out in this next week.
Right. I don't think it's a fluke, but I just think this team is like, we're not going to go pedal to metal during the regular season. We just kind of positioning ourselves for the playoffs. And, I enjoy what you were talking about with Yuri. Yuri always brings it, man. What you talking about with Deuce and Diawara. I love Deuce, homegrown, the guy that works hard to get to where he's going. But man, this league is about young wings, man. And Diawara, that guy is he's gonna be the future, and we got to keep that guy because you got a budding star. You got a guy that can, and he gives effort, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to get in there and rebound, and just bang. Oh yeah, I gotta say this, Elvin. I love the Knicks' physicality yesterday. They were banging right back. They weren't backing off. They were banging, and everybody was trying on defense. We know Brunson ain't good on. He's not a strong defense, but he was trying. He was getting on guys. He was there. And that's what you need, man. All of them were just digging in, man. They were getting locked in. So I just love that aspect of it.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I heard. Sorry, kind of faded out a bit. No, listen, you're absolutely right, man. And listen, Eric Green. That's how we're going to win this year. We already know we could score. Offensively, we could score last year, but we're going to win championships by our defense. And so that's the key. And if we can defend how we defended yesterday, and like you said, give that aggressiveness, right, and kind of meet them where they're at, I think this is going to be exactly the team that everyone thought was going to win a championship. That's what we saw. But to your point, with such a Jekyll and Hyde team, you got to kind of figure out what we're going to be, right? So, but I do think we are, the way this team is and the way we're kind of layered as a team, we're prepped to make a really good long playoff push because of how we're layered from top to bottom, sir.
Yes, absolutely. And here's another thing. I think we still have to manage Mitch to get him, to the playoffs. I would play him tomorrow against Toronto, because we got locked down against, our conference for playoff position. But I'll say, if we're blowing them out toward the end, then give him some rest because you want to show out against OKC. But the big picture is playoff position. So Dan with the show, make sure you lock in against Toronto and beat them. And longer competitive against OKC. I know everybody want to, show out when we on national TV and everything, but we got to be thinking long term. And I think that's the approach that the team has taken long term. And as far as Diawara, I think even in the playoffs, you got to keep him in the rotation. Look at matchups. Yeah. Oh, and one other thing you mentioned about Hart. He has to start because of what he brings early. Okay, the physicality, banging on the boards and everything. I just wish he would shoot. The man can shoot. He can make shots, and it just really messes us up when he don't take them open threes. I don't care if you miss, because it's worse when you dribble in and then the shot clock is down. And then somebody got to chuck up something, in desperation. Just shoot the ball, because we can pound the boards, man. And most of the time, he can shoot. So Josh Hart, just shoot the doggone ball, man.
Eric Green, listen, you sound like everybody else that was probably screaming at the television in that first quarter when he was doing that stuff. You're like, yo, what are you doing, man? You've been shooting threes all year, knocking them down at 40%. Why now you just want to – and here's the thing. He's doing a shot fake, and nobody's guarding him.
I know. I said shoot the ball.
I'm like, who are you faking out, man? There's no one there.
Yeah. I love Josh, man. He sets the heart of the team, man. And I love his one-man fast breaks, man. Oh, my God. I just love him, man. But just shoot the ball, guys. Just shoot
Yeah,
the ball.
absolutely, Eric Green. Appreciate you rocking with me tonight, man. Truly appreciate it.
Always, man. I always appreciate you, brother, man. And look forward. Hope you get on tomorrow night after the Toronto game.
Absolutely, we'll do so, man. Take care, man.
All right, peace, brother.
All right, peace. I was Eric Green giving a great breakdown of his viewpoint on the Knicks, man. There's the link right there. If you guys want to hop in and chat with LV, man, please do so. Guys, listen, man. Listen, I mean, look, man. You got to love this team, right? You know that's the beauty of sports. You're gonna have roller coaster times, right? And that happens. But I truly believe in this team. I always have, and I just feel that we're built for the playoffs. And I think that what you saw yesterday was a little inside look into what could possibly be for us in the playoffs. And I think with the experience that we have, guys on this team who've been far in the playoffs, guys who know how to win in big spots, they're not going to be nervous in big moments in the playoffs. And they understand that it's one game at a time. So I do believe that Mike Brown's going to manage these guys' minutes, because even yesterday, I thought these guys played great minutes. Great minutes, even yesterday, right? You had, let me make sure I pull this up right here. One second here, guys, because it was a great breakdown of minutes. And I kind of love what I saw, because I didn't feel like anybody, like he overplayed people. Like I didn't feel that. Like OG only played 35, right? Cat only played 28. Josh only played 30. Bridges only played 33. Brunson only played 32. But look at the minutes. Mitch played 15. Diawara played 15. Alvarado played 17. Shaman played 25. I mean, that's beautiful. He went 9 deep. I mean, that's beautiful, man. So these guys aren't going to be super tired and burnt out for the playoffs like what they were last year. And that's what we were screaming for, man. That's what we were screaming for. And so, you know, you got to be happy with where these guys are, man, and pretty much, you know, what they're doing. All right. So, but once again, man, I showed you the guys' schedule earlier. It's going to be a gauntlet. Got 2 back-to-backs this week. So we got to be ready. We got tomorrow, Tuesday, against Toronto. Then we got OKC. Then we got to go to Denver. Then we hit the West Coast trip. Then right after that West Coast trip, we're pretty much back-to-back with the Lakers and the Clippers. Right. So that's Sunday and Monday, man. So it's going to be no joke. So this is really going to kind of be a telltale sign of what we are going forward, man. So we got to see it, just kind of lock in, man, because it's playoff push time, man. We got to keep our seating right and pretty much take it from there. All right, but listen, guys, I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me tonight, man. It's truly appreciated. I will be going live tomorrow after the Raptors game, so please come through and check it out. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, all right? Also, too, if it's your first time coming through, rocking with me, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon, right, to get all notifications on all my shows. And also, too, right, when you come through, please leave comments, because I respond to comments, all right? So please do that, especially if you're watching it on the replay game. All right, people. So listen, I'll be going live tomorrow for the Toronto Raptors game, so please come through and check it out. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.